Hello everyone, Mehdi Photographer Mine. So there are a lot of finance YouTubers on YouTube and you don't have time to watch all of them and they don't all bring values to your investing. And so today I want to discuss like the 5 YouTubers that I think brings value to your investing and to mine and that are going to really help you go to the next level in your investing journey. So let's get started. So the first one on the list is Daniel Pronk. I think Daniel Pronk coming from Canada is a really great example of global investors, and that's why you should really follow all these different analysis and all these different videos, because I think it really brings something that we are not really seeing much on the market today, which is independent thinking and a lot of analysis of different companies in different countries. So I think that he's a really great investor. He has been very consistent over the years, but also he brings a lot of innovation and a lot of interpretation behind different stocks that I really appreciate. And so, for example, he's a big bull for Brookfield Corporation that is also in my portfolio, and he's really good at analyzing the reason why Brookfield is going to continue to grow going forward with a lot of tailwinds, and also understanding the very details of the industry that Brookfield is actually evolving in. And so this is the same for a lot of different stocks, and it always brings, I think, very stable and really good analysis of the different stocks, and the consistency in his analysis and the fact that he's never over the top is really good, I think, for your investing and to help you grow your own portfolio. So the second one I want to present and discuss today is basically Joseph Carlson. So Joseph Carlson has actually 2 different channels, the Joseph Carlson Show and Joseph Carlson After Hours. And so I think he's a really good finance YouTuber because he really brings very level-headed analysis of different companies and different stocks. He has been very consistent over the years, and he has really been able to show his viewers that with consistent investing and consistent time in the market, you can actually grow your portfolio. So I think that is a really good example for a lot of different investors in the market. And it's also very good analysis of some tech companies, for example, and the fact that he has been in Netflix, for example, or like in Apple, and that the stocks have been able to grow significantly. I think that the way he approaches these companies, I think they're not always the most intrinsic analysis of the companies, but I think that the fact it comes from a very level-headed position really brings a lot of stability and a lot of consistency in his viewers' portfolio. So I think that is a good example. A lot of people will benefit, especially from the discipline of investing and the way to approach these companies and to approach portfolios. I think that the fact that he's discussing a lot of mainstream companies, I would say, and always bring like some kind of positivity into the fact that we should continue to invest in quality companies with a lot of, I would say, business advantages and what we call moats. I think this is very important for a lot of different people. His strategies is I would say, pretty standard for investors, I would say. There's nothing exotic, but it has really been working in the past years. So definitely Joseph Carlson is a good example for your portfolio as well. And I think he's a good role model, I think, for a lot of people in the market. So definitely I would recommend at least to get some inspiration. Not everything is perfect, but definitely good investors. So the third one on my list, and I'm sure that not a lot of you knows about this finance YouTuber, it's Master Leong. Master Leong is actually a Singaporean and is discussing mainly Chinese stocks and Chinese equity alongside also Singaporean equities, at least for the moment, because he has been covering mainly like US, Singaporean, and Chinese stocks. But I think he's mainly known for his position in Alibaba. He has been a big Alibaba bull. But he's always brought lately a lot of different perspective into value investing. And I really think that the way he approaches basic investing and value investing is going to be very beneficial for your portfolio. And also the fact that not being a US investor, he also brings a different perspective that you really need to actually have a good diversification in your portfolio, but also to have independent thinking, which is very important. And so I really appreciate all these videos. He really come across with his own personal understanding of the market and his own personal understanding of life, I think, in some ways. So definitely it deserves more viewers because he really brings analysis of different equity in the market from his own point of view. It's always interesting to have that. He has a lot of deep dive analysis of companies like not only Alibaba, but like, for example, Ping An or like Linkreads recently, or like Jelly.com. So definitely a lot of value, I think, to be found in this channel because there are not a lot of channels discussing these names and these markets, and definitely I think he's doing it in a very great way. So the next one on my list for you guys is Capital Mindset. Why Capital Mindset? Because I think that Fabio at Capital Mindset and the whole community, I think as a whole, is really bringing something which is between retail investors and institutional investors, meaning that a very high level of analysis and understanding of the market, but also of the industry. And what you're going to actually benefit from by looking at this finance YouTuber or basically at this channel is a lot of deep understanding and deep analysis into the different stock in the market. Also, it's going to bring a lot of, I would say, views on different industries that you've never heard of, and I think that this is very important with this channel. There are a lot of, for example, financial companies, insurance companies that are not discussed anywhere else on YouTube basically, but are also very part of the market and that are also producing as well a lot of gains for investors. So I think that you would really benefit to actually open your horizons as well, not only in diversification in other countries, but also in other industries. And the fact that Capital Mindset is bringing a lot of expertise and a lot of knowledge through this channel, I think is really great for a lot of investors. And also the fact that he's also discussing a lot of risks that we are seeing with retail investing, especially at the moment, I think is really going to help a lot of retail investors not to be too much exposed in names that are not fully understood, like HIMS, for example, or Oscar Health. I think that there are a lot of things that are actually always not seen completely by retail investors and that are actually pointed out by Capital Mindset. So definitely a huge credit to Capital Mindset because they have a great channel and a great community and definitely deserve as well more viewers on this channel. So the fifth one I want to discuss today is basically Kris Patel and Matt from Chronicles. Why? Because I really think that over the years that I've been watching all their videos, especially in other channels like the Amit channel or like the Finance Junkies, I think they've always came forward with actually different ideas. So not only but really ideas that I didn't really have and a lot of knowledge and experience that I didn't really have, and that actually makes much more sense today as I am also more experienced so in the market. And what I really like, especially from Kris, is that coming from always a different angle, he always has a lot of opportunities and a lot of ideas that are really out of the box. And I really think that a lot of viewers are going to benefit tremendously by looking at these videos and having a different views on the market and in different industries. Also, like Kris has also a lot of convictions a lot of time, and definitely I think that sometimes it may be overboard, but definitely a lot of value because it brings a lot of experience in the market and a lot of due diligence. I think that this is what he has been able to do for a lot of different names like Verizon, the cruise lines, for example, or even Meta in some extent. And definitely this type of investing, I think, is what's going to make you successful in the market. And so similar to the other channels, definitely a name to follow as a finance YouTuber and also on his Patreon and community. And so I really recommend you to actually check Cashflow Chronicles and his other videos on other channel because he always brings a lot of value when he talks. And so the last one, extra one, that is a bonus for you guys. I think that you may have understood or you may have guessed, this is Amit Investing. I think Amit has actually grown as a content creator tremendously in the past few years, especially thanks to the rise of Palantir. So I've been following Amit for the past few years, especially when Palantir was actually very actually undervalued and that he has just started his own channel. But definitely, I think that I would not recommend specifically for investing, but definitely in terms of entertainment and what retail investing is thinking, I think is one of the best channels for that. He's always present also on YouTube. obviously, and on Twitter as well. But I really think that he brings a lot of value because he's kind of the representative of all the retail investors. So if you want to know what the crowd on Twitter and on finance is actually looking at, I think it is a great channel. And the fact that he actually brings a lot of different content creators on his own channel really shows you that he brings a lot of value, giving a lot of speaking time for a lot of people on his platform, and is really. And he has also had a lot of success, obviously, with Palantir, with Robinhood, for example. So we can see that definitely retail investing have been very successful very lately, especially because there is some kind of some kind of, I would say, like euphoria in the market. But still, I think that the fact that he's representing the retail investor community, and he has been so successful in both investing and also as a media creator, well, he has been able to interview like the CEO of Robinhood, like being able to meet the CEO of Palantir. I think that he has grown tremendously. So kudos to Amit, and definitely one that you should check out, at least to understand what the retail investors are looking at in the market. So today we've seen that there are finance YouTubers that really can help you go to the next level in terms of investing. Well, there's a common denominator between all of them, is that they all bring different perspective, and they are all level-headed investors, meaning that they're not crazy into their different stock picks, and they really provide you like a good framework to understand very deeply different companies, and they also show you that you should diversify into different industries and different regions. And so if you can incorporate that into your own investing, you're definitely going to succeed going forward, especially if you remain consistent and you stay in the market long enough. So thank you for today. So if you're also interested in all the news about the Japan, Chinese, and US markets, so check my other videos on the channel. So please subscribe, and I see you in another one. Bye.